Namaste yogis. Welcome to your practice. Today we're going to start in a comfortable seated position. Just closing down the eyes and taking 3 nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Just allow yourself to let go of anything that does not serve you here. Letting go of any thoughts, any distractions, thoughts of the past, thoughts of the future, and coming into the present. Gently blinking the eyes open and coming into your tabletop, shoulders stacked over the wrists, hips over the knees. Engaging Hasta Bandha, your hand lock, and taking 3 rounds of cat-cow as you inhale, crown of the head and the hips lift, belly hangs low. And as you exhale, drawing the chin and the pelvis in towards each other, doming the back. Engage Uddiyana Bandha, pelvic floor. We're taking 3 rounds in your own breath, in your own time. Bring the big toes together, knees out wide, and press back to your child's pose. Feeling the breath, filling up the lungs. Moving all the way down to the lower back. And returning to your tabletop. Engage Hasta Bandha, your hand lock. Engage Mula Bandha, pelvic floor. Engage Uddiyana Bandha, navel to spine. Tuck the toes and press back to your downward facing dog, pedaling out. Really feel the sit bones lifting towards the ceiling here. And coming into stillness whenever you're ready. Lift the right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee and curl the knee into the nose. Press back, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, look between the hands and step the foot between the hands and lower the back knee down to the mat. Reach the arms all the way up to the sky. You might like to take a gentle back bend here. And rising back up, hands come through heart center. We're going to take the left elbow over to the right knee. Pressing the elbow into the knee and pressing the hands into each other, really opening up through the chest. Feel the shoulder blades pulling in towards each other. Coming back through center, hands come down to frame the foot. We're going to place the left hand down on the mat, right arm reaches towards the sky. This openness through the chest, lifting up through the hips. Hands come down to frame the foot, coming up onto the toes of the back foot as you rise up, crescent lunge. You can keep a gentle bend through the back knee here. Just allow your spine to be nice and straight. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Stay for one more breath here. And we're going to pivot on the back foot and open out to our warrior 2. Eye gaze over the front middle finger. Heels hug in towards each other. hands come to the hips and straighten through the front leg. Pivot the toes so that the toes are facing towards the side of your mat. And gently bring the chest forward, coming into a 90-degree angle. Then release the hands or the fingertips down to the mat. And relax the head and the neck. We'll take a halfway lift here, broaden through the collarbones, send the shoulder blades down the back. And release back down. Inhale for a halfway lift. And forward fold. Take the hands back up to the hips. Rising back up. We're going to pivot the left foot and come into our warrior two. Heels hug in towards each other. Eye gaze over the front middle finger. Gently going to pivot on the back foot, coming up onto the toes and reach the arms up to the sky for crescent lunge. And gently bring the hands down to frame the foot, release the back knee down to the mat. Place the right hand down on the mat and reach the left arm up. Eye gaze towards the fingers or the side wall. And hands come down to frame the foot. Rising back up, hands through heart center. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Pressing the elbow into the knee, knee into the elbow. And pressing the hands into each other, opening up, broadening through the collarbones. Coming back through center, reach the arms up to the sky. Lifting up through the hips and taking a gentle back bend. Hands come down to frame the foot, coming up onto the back toes and step to the front of the mat in your forward fold. You might like to take ragdoll here, holding on to opposite elbows and swaying from side to side. Whatever feels right for you in your body in this moment. And coming into stillness, release the hands, take a halfway lift as you inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Take 2 more rounds. Inhale, halfway lift. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift. Forward fold. And rise all the way up to Tadasana. Hands come through heart center. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. Hands press down into the mat. Step back with the right leg. And release the knee to the mat. Place the right palm down on the mat and reach the left arm up to the sky. Both hands come down to the mat, frame the foot, rise up. Gentle back bend if it's in your practice. Rise back up, hands through heart center, right elbow to the outside of the knee. Pressing into the hands, opening up through the chest. Coming back through center, hands come down to the mat, come up onto the toes, rise up, crescent lunge. Open out to your warrior two. Flip the front palm and reverse the warrior. Returning to your warrior two, straighten through the front leg and coming into your triangle pose, back of the hand on the inside of the shin. Eye gaze towards the top middle finger. Rising back up, hands come to the hips, toes facing the wall. And we're going to come halfway down, 90-degree angle. And release the hands down to the mat. Relax through the head and the neck. Take a halfway lift as you inhale. Fold as you exhale. Halfway lift. Fold. Hands come to the hips. Rise up on your inhale. Turning the right foot to the front of the mat. Take your warrior two. Flip the front palm and reverse the warrior. Return to your warrior two, straighten through the front leg and take triangle pose. Turning to your warrior two, hands cartwheel down to the mat. Swivel on the back foot as you rise up, crescent lunge. Hands come down to frame the foot, release the back knee down to the mat. Left hand plugs into the mat, right arm reaches up. Both hands come down to the mat, framing the foot, and rise up. Take a mini back bend if it's in your practice. Going back through center. Hands come through heart center, left elbow to the right knee. Pressing the elbow into the knee, the hands into each other. Peeling open the chest. Coming back through center. Hands cartwheel down to the mat, frame the foot. Rise up through the back foot and step back, downward facing dog, pedaling out. Coming forward into your plank. Option to bring the knees down to the mat here if you need to. Engaging Hasta Bandha, your hand lock, engaging Mula Bandha pelvic floor, engaging Uddiyana Bandha navel spine. Bring the body weight forward, take your Chaturanga Dandasana. And then take Cobra Pose or Upward Facing Dog. Pressing back to Downward Facing Dog. Coming up onto the tips of the toes, bend the knees, look to the front of the mat, walk, step or hop. Take a halfway lift as you inhale and forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift as you inhale, forward fold as you exhale. Two more. Halfway lift as you inhale, forward fold as you exhale. Last one. And just taking your chosen arm variation in your forward fold. Maybe it's a big toe forward fold, maybe it's reverse gorilla, maybe it's ragdoll. Just allow the lower back to release and allow the legs to stretch right out. If you like a longer practice, feel free to stop the video here and start again. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. Release the hands and take a halfway lift as you inhale. Forward fold as you exhale and rise. up to Tadasana. Hands come through heart center. Preparing for your tree pose. Bringing the body weight into the right foot. Left foot comes to the inner arch. Or on top of the foot, to the inside of the calf. Or the inner thigh. Eye gaze out in front. Focusing on something that's nice and still. Letting go of any thoughts. Letting go of any distractions. Staying for 3 more breaths here. Releasing the foot to the mat and reaching the arms all the way up to the sky for Tadasana. Hands come through heart center, take a forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Hands press down into the mat, step back to your high plank. Option to take your vinyasa or go straight to downward facing dog. Come up onto the tips of the toes, bend the knees, look to the front of the mat, walk, step or hop. Take a halfway lift as you inhale. Forward fold as you exhale, rise up Tadasana. Preparing for tree pose on the other side now, bringing the body weight into the left foot and taking the right foot into your chosen variation. Letting go completely. Focusing on your breath. Stay for 2 more breaths here. And release the foot to the mat, swaying from side to side. Coming back into stillness, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. And hands come through heart center, take a forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Hands press down into the mat, step back to high plank. Option to take your flow or go straight to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift the right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, look between the hands, step the foot between the hands, rise up, crescent lunge. Hands come through heart center, left elbow to the right knee, revolved crescent lunge. You can bring the back knee down to the mat here if you need to. Stay for 2 more breaths here. And rise all the way up, crescent lunge. Prepare for standing splits. Getting nice and bouncy through the back leg. Being ready to launch off. Hands come down to the mat, heel presses to the back of the room. Stay for 3 more breaths here. Then release the foot down to the mat in your forward fold. Take a halfway lift as you inhale. Forward fold as you exhale, rise up Tadasana. Hands come through heart center, forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Hands press down into the mat, step back, high plank. Option to take your flow or go straight to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, look between the hands, step the foot between the hands, rise up, crescent lunge. Hands come through heart center, right elbow to the left knee, revolved crescent lunge. Eye gaze over the top shoulder. Back knee can come down to the mat if it needs to. Rise back up to your crescent lunge and prepare for your standing splits. Taking off whenever you're ready. Lifting that right leg, toes point down towards the mat. Stay for 2 more breaths here. And releasing your forward fold. Taking any arm variation you might like here. Release the hands and take a halfway lift as you inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Press the hands down into the mat and step back to high plank. Drop the knees down to the mat and release all the way down. Preparing for our chest opening shoulder stretch. Bring the right arm out at shoulder height, right cheek to the mat. Left hand comes in beside the rib cage, thumb hugging into the ribs. Up on the fingertips of the left hand, elbow hugs into the body. Lift the left leg up and peel the chest open. And gently release down to the mat. Switching over to the other side, left arm out at shoulder height, left cheek to the mat. Right hand hugging into the rib cage. Lift the right leg up and peel the chest open. And gently release down to the mat. Coming up to your tabletop. Stacking the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Cross the legs behind you, walk the hands in towards the body, bottom comes down onto the mat. Walk the feet to the front of the mat. Feet are hip width distance apart, sitting up on the sit bones nice and tall. Engage Uddiyana Bandha, engage Mula Bandha. And release all the way down to the mat, nice and slowly. Release the hands down to the mat and walk the heels in nice and close towards the buttocks, still hip width distance apart. Preparing for bridge pose, or if wheel pose is in your practice, you might like to take your wheel here. Engaging Mula Bandha pelvic floor, engaging Uddiyana Bandha navel to spine. Engage the thighs, engage the glutes, and lift the hips up towards the sky. Relax completely through the head and the neck here. We're going to stay for 3 more breaths here. And slowly releasing all the way down to the mat. Take the feet together, knees out wide for Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. It's closing down the eyes, observing the breath. Letting go of any tension held in the face here. And hugging the knees into the chest and rocking from side to side. Coming into stillness, release the right foot to the mat. Take the arms out at shoulder height and take the left foot to the outside of the right knee. And allow the right knee to turn over towards the left side of the room, the left side of the mat. Just ensure that your right shoulder is plugging down into the mat. It doesn't matter if your knees reach the mat. Just allow yourself this nice side stretch, this nice twist. And gently coming back through center, hugging the knees into the chest, rocking from side to side. And releasing the left foot down to the mat. Take the right foot over the knee, arms out at shoulder height, and taking the knees over towards the right side. Continuing to plug down through that left shoulder. And gently hugging the knees back into the chest, rocking from side to side. Option to stay here, or maybe you'd like to take happy baby with the arms between the knees, hands to the outside edges of the feet, swaying from side to side. If there are any poses that you feel your body needs or anything else you'd like to work on at the end of your practice, before you come into your Shavasana, now is your opportunity to do so. Whenever you're ready, releasing the whole body down to the mat. Allowing the legs to flop out to the sides. Allowing the palms to rest, facing up towards the ceiling. Letting go of any tension held anywhere in the body. And observing only your breath. Allowing everything else to wait. Your thoughts, your to-do list, the other people around you will still be there after your practice has finished. So just taking the time you need to focus on your breath. starting fresh, starting new, letting go of the old. Thank you for joining me on the mat today, yogis. If you stay in your Shavasana for as long as you can, I'll see you again on the mat tomorrow. Namaste.